Hi, Jessie Neverless here. Welcome to the channel. I bit my lip. So, today we're going to be moving on to episode 4 of Breaking Bad. I'm really enjoying the series, and you guys seem to be enjoying the videos, which is cool and awesome and lovely. In the last episode, it was a bit of a cliffhanger. He started to confront Skylar, and then they just ended the episode, so we don't know yet what he said to her. So hopefully we'll find out in this episode if he's gonna be honest with her to some extent and at least let her know that he has cancer. I do think that that's something he needs to do. And I didn't make any notes about anything I wanted to discuss in the intro because I recorded an excerpt at the end of last reaction kind of explaining something I wanted to go over, which was having to do with how the uncle treated his nephew in regards to his disability. And it was a thing I did not appreciate. And I'm guessing it'll come up again because I don't imagine he's going to change who he is. I'll probably have more opportunities to cover that. But if you're interested, you can check out the previous video, and at the end I do talk about that a bit. So I won't talk about it here because I've already covered it. Yeah, so he did kill Domingo, which, you know, Domingo didn't leave much of a chance to, and Walter wanted to let him go and tried and struggled to the very end to do the right thing. And Domingo didn't give him much of a chance, but at the same time, I don't blame Domingo because if someone was holding me, I'd probably react similarly. I would at least grab the weapon. I don't know if I would pull it out with the intent to use it when he was letting me go. I don't think I would do that, but I don't blame him for grabbing the piece of glass or the shard of porcelain or ceramic or whatever it was. I do still wonder if that's going to come around to bite them in the ass, though, because of Domingo's associates. Whoever he works with in the drug world. I'm guessing there's gang activity. From what I know of gangs, they really don't appreciate it when you kill one of them. They don't like that. They're not fans. So I imagine that might come back to bite them in the ass. So guess we'll see. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like or a comment. I do appreciate that. It really does help me out. You can always subscribe for more content, or you can check out the Patreon where you can get the uncut reactions. So, alright, let's just go ahead and get into the episode. I have tissues nearby in case I need them because I cry a lot and, you know, this show is pretty intense. And Bryan Cranston is incredible. Oh. Starting off with this ass.
Say hello to Domingo Gallardo Molina. Now it turns out that he's missing, presumed dead. Found his car out in the boonies.
Last guy he ratted out was none other than his cousin.
Oh, so he was...
Thinking the cousin found out and took revenge?
Could be.
Okay, he was the snitch.
Turns out we find 2 grams of meth in it. We take it to the lab. They come back, they tell us it is the purest they've ever seen.
99.1%.
It didn't come out of some super lab in Mexico. We're thinking this was cooked right here in the land of enchantment. This is the only other thing left behind. We're sending it off to Quantico, see if they can pull something off it.
And they might.
We got new players in town.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know who they are, where they come from, but they possess an extremely high skill set. Thinking Albuquerque just might have a new kingpin.
Walter. Or is he barbecuing and he's just
Jesus,
out of
you
it?
birded the shit out of him.
Yeah, okay, good.
Hey, Sky, you got any more chicken?
Emerald here is gonna need a fresh pack.
Bam!
Hank, need another beer?
Pub shit in his hat.
Yeah, I don't think that he does.
Marie, some more wine maybe?
I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah, don't give her a wine.
Honey, do you need anything?
No, well, thank you.
Oh, they seem to be doing better. Wonder what he told her.
You look like a damn movie star, man.
He's a cute kid.
You just gotta have confidence and persistence.
Confidence, maybe. Don't be too persistent.
Kept bugging her for a date. She kept saying no. What, I asked you like 50 times?
Yeah, it was before they tightened the stalking laws.
Uh-huh.
Tell him how you met Skylar.
Okay, so she is his mother. I thought maybe it was his stepmother.
It got to be so that I would only go in when I knew she was working. She would lean against the counter doing her crossword puzzles. And once I caught on to that, I would do crossword puzzles while I ate my grilled cheese sandwich.
That's cute.
14 across, 7-letter word for whatchamacallit. Yeah.
Oh, she's having a hard time.
Boy, I tell you, I was terrible at those puzzles. But your mother would do them in ink.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's persistent.
Oh, God.
Whoa. Sky.
Mom, are you all right?
Hey. Shh, honey, it's okay.
I think it's time. It's time, Walter. You gotta tell them all.
Ask him.
Oh, that was a little harsh the way she said ask him, but I understand she can't handle it.
What's she talking about? Walt?
Oh,
I have cancer.
poor Walt Jr.
Lung cancer.
Oh,
It's bad.
yeah. Oh, Walt. Little Junior.
Ask him how long he's known.
I guess a month, maybe, or...
And we're just sitting out there having a cookout like nothing's going on.
Made me promise not to tell anybody.
You have to understand, it's really hard.
Everybody just wants to help you. We're family. We get through these things together.
Lung cancer? How could that happen? You don't even smoke.
You know, I'm thinking that this goes back 20 years, maybe, to the
No.
applications lab. All those chemicals they had you working around.
We always took the proper precautions.
I understand, she's just angry.
Just, how do they think they can get away with this?
It's part of the grieving process.
What's the next step for Walt? Certainly a second opinion.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, so first thing tomorrow, I talk to my radiologists.
Oh, is he starting to think
We
that if...
find you the oncology dream team.
Is he starting to think, what if it was a bad diagnosis? And he did it all off of a bad diagnosis? That would be something. But I doubt that's what happened. But I think that might be what he was thinking just then.
I'm gonna go check on Walt Jr. If I can talk him into, I don't know, joining us. Didn't mean for him to find out that way.
Yeah, it's rough.
Whatever happens, help this goes without saying. Whatever happens, I want you to know that I'll always take care of your family.
That seemed very sincere, actually. I don't know who you are, but the beep is going on. Who are you and why are you in the house?
Check out these fake Pop-Tarts.
You're an idiot. You didn't even cover up the beep hole?
What happened to your hallway, man? Did like the ceiling fall down or?
Man, I think the house is just settling. It's been caving in left and right. Hit me in the eye.
You still cook a little crystal?
You know, from time to time.
I heard you lost your partner. Didn't he get locked up?
He's out. His cousin bailed him out. I think he skipped town or something.
I don't know about any of that. I'm kind of doing my own thing these days, so.
Maybe got some crystal, man? It's serious to go for a bowl right now, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, Sunday night bowl.
You got 40K of this stuff, don't you, buddy?
It just so happens that just recently cooked the best batch. Oh yeah, came up with this whole new recipe. You know, it's just the bomb, so I've been thinking lately I'd just lay off of it for a while.
Well, you gotta share some now. You can't just say that and not share. That's not cool.
Oh, if you're not in the sharing, man, just tell us to piss off.
I got plenty of pot.
Yeah, I think I'll bounce, man.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dude, they don't seem like good friends. Don't fuck off, dude.
Only joking with you.
Come on.
Kidding. Sit down.
Man, if they just blow you off because you won't share a specific kind of drug, and I kind of like Pinkman. I think there's something about him that's very sweet. Despite everything, there is something about him that's quite endearing. Just smoke pot. Don't smoke anything else, honey. You don't need the other stuff. It's not good for you. And I don't think it's gonna help you with what you're feeling anyway. Pot might help a little. It's got some sedative properties. Yeah, he's getting paranoid. Come on, you're a dealer. This happens. People show up. It doesn't necessarily... Okay, never mind. That's... Unless he's totally... He's gotta be... There's just no way. Oh God, where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go to Walter? Get your skinny ass up there. I think he just freaked out. I don't think he actually saw what he thought he saw. Oh my God, he didn't. I didn't think he did. Oh, and he's gonna go to Walt's house. Just... I think that's where he's going. Oh, hydrogen peroxide's not the route to go with this. The thing about hydrogen peroxide is once it started to heal, you need to not use that because it will disrupt the healing process and disturb what's going on. Hydrogen peroxide's really only good for shallow cuts when you first get them.
Do you need some help?
He needs stitches, for one, but that's not
No,
happening.
no, I'm fine, honey.
I'm right outside if you need me.
And thank you so much for working us in. Can I just put that on a credit card? Great. The best oncologist, top 10 in the entire nation. And we see him on Friday. I mean, Marie really came through for us.
Well, that's good, even though I still don't like her. At least she's useful.
What's that we're putting on a credit card?
Just a deposit kind of thing.
How much of a deposit?
It's $5,000.
What these things cost. It's disgusting.
Just to tell me what I already know?
We'll figure it out. Come on, don't get hung up on money here. Maybe we can ask your mom. Have you even called her yet?
Highly doubt that.
Regardless, you're gonna have to tell her about this. I mean, I'm willing to do it, but
Well, considering how he is reserved and repressed, I bet it's his mom has something to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's awful that when you're sick, you have to worry about that shit.
I'll borrow it from my pension.
His pension. Yeah, if you didn't see, like, the earlier episodes where I talked about it, I have an autoimmune disease, so I'm quite sick, and I've gone through the whole thing of not having insurance, and it's awful. It's so screwed up in this country.
Oh, damn it! Hey! I thought I heard mice. So, what's up, pal?
What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you acting so weird?
Son.
You're acting like nothing is going on.
Because everything's going on. Ugh. The crib. I think that was his way of kind of saying you don't have to pretend. You can actually feel what you feel. Is kind of what he meant. And is actually very true. Walter represses his emotions, and it's not healthy. It's not a healthy way to... Please, no. Just, it's probably nothing to do with you, my friend. It has nothing to do with you, I'm sure of it. And there he goes. You're all good, buddy. Every time he coughs, it's so sad. It's a little reminder every time. What a dick. Walter's just not in a place where he can handle any of that. Oh, and he's an awful person in general then. Beep, Ken.
Let me tell you something else. I'm not doing this for charity, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be disrespectful.
What a tool. Give him what he deserves, Walt.
Stacy's a cow.
That kind of stink does not wash off.
Sir?
Sorry, he's having a crisis.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi. Cashier's check in the full amount.
Oh, I was hoping he'd freak out and...
Hey, so how was soccer practice?
Is this little Walt? Is this the past, or... Who the hell are these people? Is this Pinkman's parents?
Who's there?
Oh my god, is this Pinkman's parents? Oh, Jesus.
What the hell are you doing out here?
Don't you gotta love him.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. Jake. Got new patio furniture. Right on. Hey, my leg.
Oh, this is already heartbreaking for me. The parents seem nice enough. Oh, he spelled humanity wrong. Oh, what a cute kid. Oh my god. The mullet. Oh, at least they let him crash. I mean, nobody turns to drugs for no reason. I mean, you turn to drugs to deal with something that you're not dealing with, usually. To help you cope.
I don't know. Uppers, downers?
You could ask.
His arms were needle marks.
Do we let him stay?
The Presbyterian Church has those meetings. Be on condition, if he agrees to attend. I just don't know what to tell Jake.
Just tell him that his brother has a problem. I mean, I assume that's his brother anyway.
Time's dinner.
In about an hour.
They do seem nice.
We are not doing this again.
Adam.
No.
I understand. It is hard.
Lay down the law. We lay down the law.
Oh, and he's setting the table. See, that's cute. He's trying to be respectful, at least. There's something so sweet about that. Unless he did it intentionally to be manipulative. But even then, I do like we're getting more
Hey.
time with Junior. I do like Walter Jr.
Not taking the bus? Give me maybe another 20 minutes. We'll get out of here.
All right.
I just think that things have a way of working themselves out.
Not quite sure what to make of that. I don't think Walter Jr. does either.
Environmental Consciousness Award.
He's a smart kiddo.
Like recycle cans and shit.
I contacted the Albuquerque Journal and asked what kind of chemicals they used to bleach your paper.
Right on, little bro. Not all learning comes out of books.
That is true. I mean,
We should hang out more often. Just kick back and chill. You play the flute?
It's a piccolo, actually.
Dude, play some Jethro Tull.
Hey guys, how we doing in here?
We're good.
Jay?
Yeah, fine, Mom.
they're just hanging out, talking about. She wants the door open. She doesn't trust him. But of course, I don't know what he's done. I can't assume, but I mean, why would they think?
What am I, some criminal or something?
Yeah, technically.
Whatever.
Whatever? What, you think that's okay? Like, oh, we can't let that scumbag warp the mind of our favorite son.
I'm the favorite. Practically all they ever talk about.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's the favorite. It means he's the problem. Yeah, they love you, man. They love you. They're struggling. You're struggling. But there's love there. You can see it. Oh, he liked to draw. He was good. He was very good. You should do more of that. What did he write on it?
These dudes are in town, they're looking to party. You up for making some fat stacks? Because they'll buy everything you got.
Man, is he just trying to track down the bills?
Can't be serious. What the hell are you doing here?
We're in a wire? Huh? You're setting me up?
I got a wire. Speak into the mic, bitch.
Then why are you here?
It's like touch base.
Touch base?
He wants to know if you guys are still in partnership.
Like, thought we could debrief.
That's what you think we need debrief?
Don't be a dick.
It's like the thing to do. Kinda, talk about it. You can't talk to anybody else.
That's what I said. And I think it's true.
You and I, cooking a little more.
You need the money, Walter.
Wow. Get the hell off my property. And don't come back.
Walter, you need the money. Don't be like this.
$4,000. Your share. Hey, I didn't smoke at all.
Scooping money out of the pool. It's not the first time he has had to launder money.
It's spread from the lung to the lymph nodes. There's no denying it's very serious.
It is curable.
I prefer the word treatable. Without making any promises, I can tell you that the specific course of radiation and chemotherapy I'm going to suggest has been successful.
But chemo's rough.
It varies from patient to patient. Typically,
because basically it's poison.
Usually fatigued, not much energy. You may lose weight due to. First, there's the possibility of nausea.
Oh yeah, he's disassociating again. Please tell me she's not going to find something. Did he leave something? It's probably been there for ages. It's probably been there ages. He probably didn't even know.
Got anything to say?
He probably didn't know. He probably doesn't even remember it.
How many chances have we given you?
It's a joint.
And you plead ignorance, and you play on our emotions.
It's true, but...
And it makes us feel like fools.
That is true, and I understand it. Over pot, though.
To have this in our house.
That's understandable.
We need you to leave.
That part's harsh. I bet that joint's been there for ages and he didn't even know it was there. But, I mean, over a joint. Don't tell me that was his. How old are you, kid? Are you old enough for pot? I don't know.
Thanks for not telling on me.
I figured.
You think I could have it back?
No. Yeah. That's what I would do. You got him kicked out and then ask for it back.
It's skunk weed anyway.
He's a kid, but damn. That was beep out asking for it back. But damn, that's really young.
You know, this is actually very hopeful. Can I call them and tell them you'll start next week?
Chemo's a really hard decision. Give him more time.
I just think that we need to discuss it a little more, that's all.
What is there to discuss?
She's not understanding.
He's the best.
Well, there's the money discussion. I think, $90,000 out of pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
There's financing, installment plans. I could always go back to work.
We spend all that money and...
Yeah, that is a possibility that you need to understand is there.
Am I supposed to leave you with all that debt? No.
Yeah, that's hard.
I just don't want emotions ruling us. Maybe treatment isn't the way to go.
It's so awful he has to think about it.
Fucking die already.
Oh, sweetie.
Just give up and die.
That's not the discussion, sweetheart, but I understand your anger. Anger is a big part of grief. And he's young, so comes easily when you're, oh, honey, you shouldn't be driving. You need to pull over immediately. Yeah, pull over. Yeah, good job. And he needs to have oxygen with him, I think, for... Yeah. Is it Ken wins? Oh, give him what he deserves, Walt. Please, Walter. Do this for me. Tear that license plate off and hit him with it. This guy's a douche. And he needs to be humbled. Tear that license plate off and hit him with it. Oh. Oh. For the record, nothing that he's about to do he really should do. But I'm with it. I'm on board for it. Okay, that's cool. Oh, wait a minute. That's a bigger problem that I realize. Holy shit. Yeah. That's way bigger the problem than I realized.
Call the fire people!
Call the fire people! I do worry about cameras, though. 'Cause that's a pretty big crime, I'd say. Granted. Guy deserved it. Guy deserved to get that license plate smashed across his face. I think I got through that episode without swearing until the very end. Maybe, I don't know. I probably swore and I didn't even notice. Okay, so, yeah. I'm glad he told the family it needed to happen. The anger is understandable. There's going to be anger and denial, and Skylar's already got some denial happening. Walter Jr.'s got the anger. And the thing about the stages of grief and everything, they don't happen like in a row. People kind of think of, oh, you're in anger now. Oh, now you're in denial. It doesn't work like that. It's not linear. You go back and forth. You know, you can kind of come out of it for a bit and then go back into it. So it's very difficult. Grief is very, very messy. I worked in hospice, so not only have I known a lot of people who have died, I've seen people react to grief over a period of time, watch them lose their family members and people that they care about a lot. So I've seen a lot of grief and how people react differently, and it's rough. It's the most difficult thing. Pretty much the most difficult thing any of us will ever go through is losing somebody. So it's rough. And the thing about going through chemo is if you go through chemo and it doesn't work, that means your final time will have been spent feeling like shit instead of enjoying time with your family. So that is a factor in that decision. So just the next day, I have edited the video up to this point, and there are a few more things I would like to say just to elaborate on stuff that I've kind of already covered, and a couple of insights I had while I was watching the video as I was editing. So if you stick around for that, that's awesome. Cool. Great. Otherwise, thank you for watching up to this point, and I hope to see you in the next video. So, one of the things I really wanted to talk about was that I like how they are portraying Pinkman to be a very sympathetic character. You can definitely empathize with him and his situation, and it's showing the human side of it, of addiction. He's very much being humanized, and I do appreciate that, because like the attitude that the cop, the uncle has towards addicts really bothers me. So to see Pinkman portrayed as a sympathetic character and to show that the family, there's still love there, but they're struggling, it's very realistic, and it's very true to what the experience often is, unfortunately. So I do appreciate that. I'm glad that they're showing more of that, and not that he's just a skeevy, meth head with no redeeming qualities. It's not like that. Very few people are irredeemable, in my opinion. I can't say that with certainty, obviously, because that's a subjective opinion. So, but I do believe that. I think there's very few people who don't have something about them that is worth saving and that can be, in regards to anything, not just addiction. The other thing I wanted to say was that I really think Walt really, really needs to talk to Jesse about what happened. because Jesse needs to talk about it. And Walter does too, but Jesse doesn't know how to stop his mouth. So if Walter doesn't talk to Jesse about it, Jesse's going to talk to somebody. It's going to come out in some form, somehow. So Walter just needs to just do it. You know, what happened is very messed up and difficult to deal with. So, and Jesse was struggling to begin with. Because he is, he's got an addiction, and that's very difficult. And like you said during the reaction, very few people turn to drugs without a reason. It's usually something to do with an inability to cope with whatever. And it could just be normal stresses of life even. It doesn't have to be something huge and traumatic. You just don't have healthy coping mechanisms in place to deal with that kind of thing. I empathize quite a bit with addicts. I mean, for one, strictly speaking, I am an addict. I smoke cigarettes, and that's an addiction. I've never robbed a store to get my cigarettes, so it's slightly different than the way something like meth would change your behavior. But I get the withdrawal, and I get the need, and I understand not being able to cope very well without it. So, I mean, I do understand that. So I do empathize with them quite a bit. And I've had friends that had problems with addiction. My best friend in high school, we were best friends from about age 11 up through high school. And she got involved with meth. And it was very hard to see. And I tried to be there for her as much as I could. And she just devolved, and it got worse and worse. So I ended up telling her parents, which I still know that was the correct choice, because we were kids and I wasn't equipped to help her, and she needed help, which she eventually did get. And, now she's healthy, has a kid, is married, all that good stuff. But unfortunately, she never really did forgive me for telling her parents. So our friendship never really recovered. We're on good terms and everything. I mean, she doesn't seem to hold a grudge, like with conviction or anything, because I think she understands, but in some ways she just never forgave me for that. She still, in some ways, considered it a betrayal, and it is what it is, and it's sad. But yeah, it's tough. And I dated a guy that I'd known since we were kids. We grew up together. We were friends when we were teenagers, and we dated when we were older. I knew he drank a lot, but I didn't realize how bad it was until we got involved. And it was very difficult to see him struggle with it, and I tried my best to be there and be supportive. And during the periods when he didn't drink, he was a very lovely person. He really was. He was a good guy. He had a really good heart. But he would always return to the alcohol when stressors came up in life. It was just, he would have cycles where he'd be okay for a couple months, he'd stay sober, and then he'd go back to the alcohol. And it got to the point where when he drank, he was having blackouts, and he was getting abusive. Not physically, but he started being verbally and emotionally abusive. And it took me a little while to clock on, because it's more subtle than physical abuse. If somebody smacks you in the face, that's very obvious, and you process it. You're like, oh, well, that happened. Verbal and emotional abuse is more subtle and difficult to pick up on, but once I did, I got out, because it became an unhealthy and unsafe situation for me. And even though I loved him very much and I cared about him, and I still do, I wish the best for him. He's a good person. He's just not well, is the way I put it. Addicts are just not well. And it's not that they're bad people. It's not that they're weak. It's not anything like that. It's just they have some I don't know if you would call it a sickness or a disorder. I just say they're unwell and they need help. Which is why I did understand the family, even though I don't really think kicking them out over a joint is warranted. I think that's a bit excessive. But at the same time, if they did lay down the boundary that you do not bring any drugs into our house, and then they thought he did, I get it. You kind of do have to have some boundaries with addicts. But at the same time, if you love an addict, you should always leave the door open for him, is kind of how I put it. It doesn't mean to trust them blindly, because like if I had a friend who's an addict and they need a place to crash, I'd let them crash in my house. But I probably wouldn't leave them unattended in the house and go off and do something else, because that's how you get your shit stolen. So even though I understand that they told him to leave, I still hope that they leave the door open for him in case he really needs a place to stay. You know, if he really needs a meal or clothes, you know what I mean? Because aside from that, I have known other addicts, because I was a pothead. So I mean, I hung around potheads, and some potheads would hang out with people who did meth. There was a lot of meth in my hometown, so I've known quite a few. Maybe not super close, but the couple that I liked, I always, try to make time for. If I saw them struggling, especially struggling, because they're always kind of struggling because of the nature of addiction. But I always kind of left the door open for them. I, take them out for dinner and just listen to them and let them know if they need to talk. And that's kind of the best thing you can do. This could easily just get into so much territory about the way I feel about addiction and the way we treat addicts. The most important thing for an addict to help an addict is support. But the way we treat addicts is we criminalize it. And we throw them in jail and isolate them at a point when they already feel isolated. And it's like the absolute worst thing to do to an addict is to lock them up. And that's what we do. So it's just, the whole thing's disgusting. We have a very messed up mindset about addiction overall. It's getting better. It's better understood that it's more along the lines of a disorder. The other note I made is in regards to the chemo. Chemo really sucks. And I can say that fairly confidently, even though I haven't had chemo. I've been present for chemo. I have seen people go through chemo professionally and personally. I had a friend who had to do a round of chemo, and it was very bad. She was so sick. It's tough shit. And I definitely empathize with them, because with my autoimmune disease, I have a lot of the same symptoms when my autoimmune disease acts up, because it comes in cycles. And when it acts up, I'm exhausted. I have chronic nausea. I have pain. And it's just awful. So I do understand people who choose to not do chemo and choose instead to spend the time with their family. I get it. Living that way, I get it. It's very difficult, particularly the nausea. I was puking constant. I don't even want to get into that. But basically, I was so sick for so long, I just didn't even want to live anymore until we found a medication that helped me. The nausea is so bad, and it's gotten worse again because I have an ulcer. So, all right, hopefully I can edit that rambling set of afterthoughts into something that's worth listening to and wraps up the episode with a nice little bow. So thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your time, especially if you hung around to listen to me ramble about addiction and things like that. You can subscribe for more. You can comment and like. There's the Patreon to check out for the uncut reactions. And otherwise, I would just like to see you in the next video. I'm Jessie Nebulous. Bye.